Hi, I'm Tasha with One Big Happy Life on behalf of the Financial Diet, and this is the Lifestyle Fix brought to you by Skillshare. The Lifestyle Fix is all about helping you build the life that you want on any budget. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about my own budget, and in particular, how much money I spent in February. So this is my February spending diary. Now, I did do a spending diary back in January, so if you haven't seen that one, you should definitely go check that out, and I will drop a link to that down in the description box. So January was a no spend month for our family, so our goal was to stick to our budget and spend the least amount of money that we could, within reason. We were kind of flexible with ourselves during that month to help facilitate our debt payoff. So February was closer to a regular spending month for us, but we did have some special things come up where we spent more than we normally would. So let's get into how much we spent in February. So first off, the thing that you should know is that I am an attorney and so is my partner Joseph, and we each make a six-figure income. We also have a business that is a six-figure business. So in the month of February, our full income after taxes, after saving for retirement, after paying for most of our insurance was $23,000 for the month of February. 60% of that came from our day jobs and 40% of that came from our business. In January, I went over our recurring household expenses. They total approximately $6,000, and that equals our mortgage, utilities, car insurance, cell phone, childcare, and some supplemental insurance that we pay for outside of our regular insurance. So I'm not going to go into detail with those, but if you want to know a breakdown of what our household budget is, you should head over and check out the January spending update. Okay, so now let's get into the specifics from my February spending diary. So first, let's talk about food. Normally, we budget around $1,000 a month for groceries and eating out. This month, we did go over budget and we spent $1,165 on food and eating out. And the reason why that happens is we do work full time and we run a business that makes six figures. And in order for that business to make six figures, we have had to take on a lot of new things than what we did in the beginning when the business first started out. So what that means is sometimes we just don't get a chance to go to the grocery store and we end up just grabbing some food, especially having our teenager swing by a fast food place on our way home and just bring home some food. So that happened a couple of times this month unexpectedly, because we did have a few big projects that we were pushing through to get done. Next, let's talk about gifts. So we do set aside money every month for gifts, and this month we actually spent some of that money because it was our son Reeve's birthday. He turned 3 years old. So we spent $250 this month on Reeve's birthday. That includes $30 for balloons and a couple other things from Party City, $100 in gifts from Target, and $17 from Build-A-Bear Workshop. And we also used $100 worth of gift cards that we bought back in December for $80, but that's not included here. And then we also spent $60 for breakfast at IHOP and $50 for cupcakes for his class party. So it was Reese's birthday. These were planned expenses. When we did our 1-year spending plan, we did account for basically $300 worth of gift expenses for this month. So that's perfectly basically on budget for us. And if you don't know what a 1-year spending plan is, I will drop a link to a video that explains the whole thing. Next up, we spent $430 on date night this month. This was our first romantic night away from the kids in 3 whole years. We spent $250 for a hotel suite that has an awesome jetted bathtub for 2 people. It's the same hotel suite that we went to on our baby moon when I was very much 9 months pregnant with a 10-pound baby and just wanted to float in a bathtub. We also spent $40 on parking and $140 for dinner, which was a 6-course prix-fixe dinner at a cute Peruvian restaurant nearby. I actually even left my computer at home for the first time, which in I don't even know how long. So it's the first night that I only worked a tiny little bit since we started our business just over 2 years ago. I do have to say that I did work a little because I used my phone to get pictures and video for my Instagram stories. But when we're away from home, I don't post in real time. So I didn't post them until we were back at home with the kids. So I still did work, but it was really light work. And let me tell you, yes, it was a lot of money, but oh my gosh, did Joseph and I need a break. We do work all the time. We work a lot in between our day jobs and then our business, and then also, of course, spending time with our kids, taking care of our toddler. And so it doesn't leave us as much time for one-on-one couple time, maintaining our relationship, keeping that spark alive as we would like. And so that money was totally well spent. We also had $400 in medical expenses this month. So Joseph and I are in the midst of undergoing IVF treatment. We're actually right in the beginning, so we just did a lot of the diagnostic testing. And that included $300 to do a semen analysis for Joseph and to freeze his sperm, because he's also planning on having some surgery in a couple of weeks. And just in case there's a conflict, we wanted to have some backup sperm on hand. And we also have $70 worth of copays for our IVF consultation and a $30 copay for Joseph's surgery. Next, we spent $1,150 on travel this month. $500 of that was for ticket change fees for our trip to London. And I'll try to make this story as concise as possible, but basically, my parents were supposed to come with us. Because my mom and I are no longer speaking, they're not coming, and they decided that they were not going to pay us the money for the tickets, so they didn't get to keep the tickets. And meanwhile, we gave them to friends of ours who actually came to our rescue when the situation happened with my mom that led us to not talking to her, and stayed with our kids for 3 days while we were out of town, while Alexis was sick with a fever, while Reeves took off his clothing and smeared poop all over the place, and while our dog, who is getting older and used to be perfectly house trained, also pooped all over the house. So they deserve this trip to London. So we needed to change the tickets away from my parents' name and over to their names. And so that's where that $500 came from. And we also spent $400 for our Amtrak tickets because our flights actually leave out of New York City. So we'll be training from the DC area up to New York City and then flying over to London in March. We also spent $212 on clothing. Now, normally we do have a separate clothing budget, but this clothing budget was specifically allocated for our London trip because, again, we do have an online business, and part of that is having photos and pictures and content for our Instagram account and also making videos for YouTube. And so we want to make sure that we are budgeting for clothing to create that content so we have pictures where we look really cute. And so that clothing budget was part of the planned budget for that trip. Now let's talk about where the overwhelming majority of the money went this month. And we paid off $13,000 worth of debt. We paid off some roof work that we had done and an AC loan that we took out 3 years ago when we first bought our house. And so with that, we are done with our major push towards debt payoff this year. And it's really a wonderful thing to have been able to pay off that much money very easily, all because we spent, well, the past 2.5 years building a side hustle to an online business, which gave us the opportunity to be able to drop a big chunk of cash on our debt all at once. If you want more details on our current net worth, you can check out our February net worth update, and I'll drop a link to that down in the description box. Now that I've shared how I spent my money in February, let's talk about a great place to go shopping for some new life skills, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in design, business technology, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on essential topics so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Looking to brush up on your lifestyle photography skills so you can deck out those empty walls of yours? Check out Mark Marie Forsberg's class, Lifestyle Photography, Capturing Inspiring Visual Stories, where she teaches you how to capture stunning stories in a styled yet natural way. Click the link in the description box to join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today and take advantage of a special offer just for TFD viewers. The first 500 visitors will get 2 months of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. Act now now so you don't miss out and start learning today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to tune in here every single Friday for another new episode of The Lifestyle Fix. See you next week.